Finally, Brandon Aiyuk has responded to the 49ers. What's up? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Cohn Zone. That's Lowell Cohn. I'm Grant Cohn. Today we're going to be deciphering social media posts. We're going to be talking about Ricky Pearsall's knee, and we're going to debate whether the 49ers are truly upper echelon, top echelon NFC teams. We're also going to talk about Phillip Rivers. Kyle Shanahan just had a conference call, and I asked him a question and a follow-up about Phillip Rivers because, as my dad always says, the most important question is the follow-up. Today's episode is brought to you by 1-800-CONTACTS and Fabletics. Fabletics already has amazing deals, but right now they're running their biggest sale of the year on top of that. And I've got an exclusive offer for you, 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. Head to fabletics.com/Cohn and sign up as a VIP to get 80% off everything. This is only available through my link. So go to fabletics.com/Cohn to sign up as a VIP and get 80% off. That's fabletics.com/Cohn. If you saw last night that suit I was wearing, that was Fabletics. It looks like a blazer, but it's not. It's really athletic wear, which was much more breathable, I think, and more comfortable, and I appreciated that. And as I said, we're also brought to you this week by 1-800-CONTACTS. If you hate running out of contacts or having to make an eye doctor appointment every time you're running low, 1-800-CONTACTS is the best solution. They will save you time and money. Getting contacts doesn't have to be a hassle. Let 1-800-CONTACTS get you the contact lenses you need right now. Order online at 1-800-CONTACTS.com or download the free 1-800-CONTACTS app today. Okay, if you haven't heard or if you're not on Instagram, Brandon Aiyuk finally said something. The Niners have been telling this story, and he's been quiet. He's been like Iago at the end of Othello. But finally, after the Niners put him on the reserve left squad list and basically said that hasn't been there for a month and is being very unprofessional, Brandon Aiyuk went on Instagram and posted 3 pictures of himself with new cars and had a caption, which I don't really understand. It was something about cars and watches and stuff. So he didn't even address anything about football or the 49ers. What do you make of what's going on with Brandon?
Yeah, I'm going to be personal, even though I don't know Brandon. I'm worried about him. That's my take. He seems not to be operating in reality. I mean, here this cataclysmic thing happened with him and the team, and he's posting. Is it called Instagram, Iggy? Photos of him with cars and stuff. Mm-hmm. Maybe other people can decipher it. I can't. I don't understand what his state of mind is, and I'm going to go a little further. If he was still on the team, which he isn't, I guess, I would hope someone on the team would suggest that he see a therapist, a psychotherapist. There's nothing wrong with seeing a psychotherapist. I see one since my wife died. I have a lot of stuff that I'm working out. So I'm not suggesting anything that I am not doing. I think somebody needs to help him. I'm not a specialist. He's got nothing to lose. I think he's acting in self-destructive ways. And if the team can't or won't help him, he has an agent. These agents have contacts. Plus, he's got a lot of money. He can probably, wherever he lives, get the best therapist there is. So I don't mean to sound touchy-feely or all of that, but I worry about him the way I would worry about any other human being, not because he's a football player. And I think maybe someone needs to reach out a hand and help him. What do you think, Iggy?
I agree. Dad, give your camera a little bit of a spit shine. You're a little blurry. But what I wanted to say about
spit shine
Aiyuk is when you ask players on the team about it, guys like Ricky Pearsall, they seem to act like they know something they won't say, and they are very sensitive about it. It's like, look, this is a person. You don't really know what someone's going through. It looks like he's going through something, and it doesn't seem like the Niners are necessarily helping him. It seems like they're kind of like washing their hands of him. So I don't know if it's his agent or his mom or his wife, but someone needs to talk to him and make sure that he's okay.
Yeah. I mean, finally, these are football players, but finally they're people. You've always liked him, Iggy. You've always gotten along with him, and I know you really like his mother. You've had dinner with his mother. I just wish someone in an appropriate position could reach out a helping hand, talk to him, guide him to the right place, because he's not going to be a football player for the rest of his life, but he's going to be a person for the rest of his life. And I would like for things to work out for him.
It seems like he's the kind of guy who, I don't know, maybe isn't the most adept socially, but wanted to be accepted and never really felt like in. And this is like, it all culminated with him not getting the ball enough in the Super Bowl. And it feels like he's been like losing, I'm not going to say losing his mind because it's just been flipping out ever since that happened. And I think it's too bad. I think maybe if the 49ers had been a little bit more gentle with him or understood him a little bit better, this wouldn't necessarily have happened because it's not like he's Terrell Owens. It's not like he's uh, Antonio Brown. I mean, he's not like this flagrant, in your face jerk. He just seems like he's really upset.
Yeah, I agree. I covered Terrell Owens, and he was, at the time I covered him, his behavior was disgusting. I have no knowledge of what he's like now. His behavior was disgusting when I covered him. I don't feel that way about Ayuk. You know what, Iggy? I feel he's a little lost.
Yeah.
A little lost.
Yeah.
Now, there may be something specific we don't know. In fact, there probably is something specific that we don't know. And maybe my advice to talk to a therapist is not germane. But since I don't know that thing, the best I can do for him is that. And again, we're leading off our broadcast today. We're not talking about football, we're talking about a person. And he doesn't only matter to 49er fans as a football player. If they care about him, he matters as a person.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just seems, when you look at the pictures that he posted online, there's no expression behind his eyes. He's buying cars. Does that make him feel better? I mean, he's not a football player right now. He's not doing what he's good at. He's not doing what he loves. And he's been made to look like not a monster, but an unprofessional, crazy person. I mean, I don't know. I really feel for him right now. And he's not expressing himself. And when he posts stuff on social media like he did today, you wonder like who's around him because you look at all the responses. No one's saying good going, Brandon, nice car, Brandon. And it's all like, dude, what's going on with you? I
This
think
is where
everyone wants to know what's going on with him, and someone needs to reach out. Someone needs to do something.
yeah. I think first of all, his agent gets money from him. What
Yeah,
do these agents do? I don't know his agent. Maybe he could help him. Maybe the
yeah.
agent could help him. And Iggy, my issue, no, my take on him again, is not that he's a bad guy, but that he's in a problem area of his life.
Yeah.
Iggy, you've interacted with him. Tell me what he's like.
He's very quiet. He doesn't talk a lot. He's not standoffish, but he's not like, you know, the most outgoing person. So I think he's a little defensive. That being said, the last time I ever saw him was during the preseason. It was after a game. He was there to watch the 49ers. He was still part of the organization. He was there with his wife. The game just ended. He was walking out. I don't know where exactly he was going, maybe to his car. He was holding her hand. He saw me and he said, "Hey, Grant," walked over and gave me a hug, which he had never done. But maybe I should have known at that time that it was near the end. But he was not always like the most outgoing and warm person, but he was never flat out rude to me. And sometimes he was actually surprisingly warm.
Do you like him?
Yeah, I like him. I don't dislike him. It's not like Diameter Lenore or Talanoa Hufanga, who I would go over to and have a conversation with once a week in the locker room about anything. Brandon's not like that, but that's okay. He's not a very verbal person.
I understand. Uh, so you don't have negative feelings about him.
No, I don't have negative feelings about him. I always did get a feeling that he was, if he was 24, he was a young 24. But a lot of football
Yeah.
players are like that.
Yep, they're kids. A lot of them are kids. They are,
Yeah.
and we forget. We tend to forget that anyway. So hold on, Brandon. If you happen to be watching Grant's thing on YouTube today, I'm his dad. We're concerned about you in the most positive way, and we hope that if there's something troubling you, you get the help you need because I'm getting the help I need. And if mom is watching, your mom, I know that Grant really, really likes her, and she's a nurse. And maybe you can encourage your son in some of the things we're saying. And we wish you both all the best.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect that after all the Niners have said that Brandon would come back and be like, "Hold on, I have something I want to say. I have my side of the story." Instead, it seems like what he's doing is, you know, making trying to make himself feel better. Like he
Yeah.
seems like a guy who's upset and he got a new car and that's not gonna fill the hole that he has inside him, the emotional hole. It looks like you said, he needs help. It looks like kind of a cry for help. Just the expression on his face. Anyway, this is serious. I hope he's okay. I hope someone reaches out. It's not Kyle Shanahan's place though. He has to coach a football team.
Yeah, I'm not putting Kyle down. I'm not
Yeah,
blaming
yeah,
anybody. If he
yeah.
were still a part of the team, I think they're associated with therapists, but I don't think that would be appropriate right now. Plus, I don't think he would trust the therapist that the team recommended because he might think that the therapist would report back to the team. I'm not saying the therapist would, but I think he needs to go. I mean, they're all over the place. You know what I mean? I found one.
Well, the heir apparent Ricky Pearsall had a really good game on Sunday. It almost felt choreographed. On Saturday, they put Brandon Aiyuk on the left squad list. On Sunday, they give Ricky Pearsall a bunch of throws. He was excellent. He injured his ankle though, and then he banged his knee at the end of the game. When he banged his knee, he re-aggravated his PCL injury, which he suffered week 4 when he banged his knee on the turf. So it's painful, but it seems like something that a football player has to be able to withstand. What do you think's going on with Ricky Pearsall?
Iggy, when Kyle talked today, did he indicate if Pearsall will play in the next game?
He didn't sound extremely confident. He sounded like pretty confident he's not going to practice on Wednesday. He said we'll see, and he said the fact that it's 2 injuries and one of them is a re-aggravation means we'll see. My best guess is he probably won't play, although it's a Monday game. It gives him an extra day.
Okay, here's what I think. On the positive side, he's really gifted. Iggy,
Hmm.
he was worth a first round pick.
Hmm.
Um, on the right team, and I'm not sure this is the right team for him. On the
Hmm.
right team, he would be a speed receiver that a quarterback with a big arm could get him the ball out ahead of everybody. Do you agree with that?
Can you imagine him on the Chiefs?
Oh my God. Yeah,
They
he'd
could have
be a,
had him, but they took a different wide receiver who's not particularly good.
yeah, he could be a superstar for what his skill set with Mahomes.
Mhm.
Um, Also, he runs good routes and he gets open. He does. We saw in the last game, he was marvelous. He was wonderful to watch. So, cliche, does he have an Achilles heel? Yeah, he seems to get hurt a lot. He seems to be a little fragile. Now, he may just brush these latest ones off, Iggy, and I hope he does because the guy got shot. I wish him all the best luck in the world. He got shot. So I'm hoping these are temporary. He plays in the next game on the next Monday, a week from today, and does really well. But again, a red flag went up. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like the Niners will be cautious with Ricky Pearsall and give him 3 or 4 throws, and since he's a first round pick, you're like, "Well, what's going on here, man? How are you not throwing him the ball? He's so good." And when they hear enough of it, they eventually relent and feature him the way that he, should be featured. The way that his skill set dictates he should be featured, but then he often gets injured at the end of the game or in the process. And so maybe the issue is like they got to be careful with him. He's good, but he's also about 190 pounds. And there's some really, really vicious defensive players out there. I mean, he made a nice catch running over the middle today, but do you really want him doing that a lot? I mean, but what's disconcerting about his knee injury is not even about hitting other players. It's just hitting the turf.
Mm. Yeah. And
So,
part
he's good,
of,
but maybe you just have to use him in moderation.
yeah, I agree. And part of a player being really good is being there when you need him.
Yeah, it's not like Bill Walsh had to say, this Jerry Rice guy is great, but I can't throw him more than 7 passes. Yeah, 7 might be a lot.
Yeah. And he had John
Even
Taylor,
with
who
Brandon,
also
they didn't
is
have to play like that.
right.
Sorry.
And with Kittle, I mean, that he was hurt, but now they can throw him the ball all day long. So
Yeah.
again, Ricky, if you're watching, we're not putting you down. We're praising you for being really gifted, for having a wonderful game yesterday. We hope you feel better, but we do worry a little. We do worry that you're a kind of guy who might be in and out. And I hope that you can get past that obstacle, that apparent obstacle in your career.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that he's the second best receiver on the team after Kittle, and that the more they throw to him, the better the offense is. So they have to sort of figure out what he's physically ready for. I mean, maybe this season he can't handle that because this PCL injury probably won't fully recover until the offseason. Maybe next year in his third year in the league, he'll be stronger, more durable, and he'll be able to have the season that he's capable of. Although he is 25 already, he'll be 26. Maybe this is just his build. I don't know. They'll have to figure that out. But for this year, maybe fourth option.
Iggy, you said he might be the second best receiver on the team. Do you put him ahead of Juwan Jennings?
I do. Yes. Juwan's
Tell
really
me why.
good, but this guy is fast. Juwan's slow. So there's limited numbers of routes that he can run. He's dangerous, short, and intermediate. I think Ricky can do all three. He could go over the middle. He can go outside. He can go deep. There's more you can do with him. But Juwan's good too.
Okay. I'll tell you one thing Juwan has over Ricky. He's almost indestructible.
Yeah, it's true. He played through broken ribs. He played through all kind of stuff this year.
Yeah.
Ricky bangs his knee and he's out. That's a good point. There's something to be said for that. If we're like comparing football players, the guy who can play football and stay healthy, probably that's an ability, a skill set.
And how?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for all Ricky can do, he hasn't put it together yet. I mean, he's 3 touchdowns in 2 seasons in his whole career.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah. He could be the number 1 guy like Brandon Aiyuk one day, but he's not yet. So, okay, they beat the Titans. They've won 4 games in a row. They're 10-4. Micah Parsons went down with a torn ACL yesterday. It's a long season, and other teams are suffering injuries now. Do you think the Niners are in the top echelon of NFC teams?
Okay, we disagree on this, but first we need to identify what we mean by top echelon. Okay?
Mhm.
So meaning, let me try to do it and you could refine it. Meaning X number, let's just do the NFC. Meaning X number of teams that are Super Bowl contenders might be able to win the Super Bowl and are clearly in a different class from other teams in the NFC. Is that fair?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay. Let's put the Niners out of it for a moment. Let's see if we can agree on some teams that are in that category.
Sure.
Okay. Iggy, let's say the Rams are in that category. Would you put them in that category?
In that category? Absolutely. Yes. They're the best team in the NFC.
Okay. I'm having trouble leaving the Niners out of it, coming up with other teams that are in that elite. Another one you could name. Seattle?
Yes.
Seattle. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So in the elite, there's the Rams and Seattle. We're not
Yes.
putting the Lions, and we're not putting Philadelphia because they're slip sliding away.
Not Chicago.
Not Chicago. But let me point something out. The Niners beat both of the teams that you're talking about.
That's true.
Now, you're going to say, but they had Fred Warner and Nick Bosa.
That is true.
Which is a great counter argument.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great counter argument. It's like Iggy in my classroom, right? You try to see it from every point of view. Mm-hmm. The Niners have beaten both those teams. The Niners are not as strong defensively as they were when they beat those teams. Still, they beat them. Kyle beat them. And then Kyle got his ass kicked the second time by the Rams. The Rams, as good as they are, got beat by Carolina.
Correct. That's
now, truth. That's not elite.
It's not
impressive. So here's what I want to say. If in my defining the elite group, I put the Niners in it. I do. Okay. Now, you want to say there's those two teams and the Niners are a notch below.
Yeah.
Fair enough, but tell me why.
Yeah, here's the way I look at the Niners entering week 16. I feel like they have a good quarterback, but is he one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFC this year? Not the way he's been playing. I mean, maybe the way he played against Tennessee, but Stafford's better. Jordan Love's at least as good. Sam Darnold's at least as good. So do they have the best weapons? They have the best tight end, but they don't have the best running back. They don't have the best wide receivers. I mean, when Pearsall's healthy, but he could miss this upcoming week. They don't have the best offensive line. They don't have nearly the best defense. I think they're somewhere in the middle of the pack. But here's what I want to say. It's still mid-December, and it's such a long season that these teams are all going to be different in a month. And I think the team that ends up winning is going to be the team that finds a way to preserve itself the best, to stay the freshest and the healthiest. And some of that's out of your control, but some of it isn't. And 2 days ago, we would have looked at Green Bay and said, damn, with Micah Parsons, that might be an upper echelon NFC team. Then he's out for the year. It's like, well, now you're just another one, another good team in the NFC. That could be the Rams next week. I mean, they just lost Devontae Adams in this game, hamstring injury. We don't know when he's coming back. What if they lose Puka Nacua next week? I mean, this stuff happens in football all the time. So as long as the Niners are smart and keep themselves relatively fresh the rest of the way, they could absolutely end up being the best team in the NFC.
So you're saying you wouldn't put them in that elite group right now, but you could see them possibly being there in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's like they suffered their injuries early in the season. Bosa week 3, Warner week 6, and they got all the attention for it. But the league, the season is so long, it's happening to more and more teams. And there's 3 more weeks of the regular season. Only one team gets a bye week. It's highly likely that a lot more players get hurt. And if they're not on the Niners, I mean, the Niners could be the team that wins. They have an offense that can score 35, 40 points. And their defense, while it isn't particularly good, they have a great defensive coordinator who can make life somewhat difficult on, well, he didn't make life difficult on Stafford the second time. But they have a great defensive coordinator who's clever. They can figure out things. Yeah.
Iggy, I want to. You skipped over Purdy. Say he had a good game yesterday. Actually, I thought he had a great game yesterday. Let me say why. It's the best I've seen him play going back to last season. I'm going to say 2 things that I saw from him yesterday. Now, it's true they were playing a minor league team, but 2 things I saw. He really could rip the ball. When he threw it. Now, he's not a great long passer, but he didn't just float passes. He was really ripping the ball. And I hadn't seen that before. And Iggy, he scrambled beautifully. He was a excellent quarterback yesterday. Now, can he do that against Seattle? Can he do that against the Bears? We'll see. But yesterday, I have to give him props. I don't know what grade you gave him. I would give him an A.
Give him an
Did
A.
you give him an A?
Give him an A.
Yeah,
I give him an A, of
yeah.
course. So, I actually think the Niners are in the same echelon and a very similar team to the Eagles.
Mm.
The Eagles, they won this past week. They played the Raiders. The Niners won this past week. They played the Titans. They're teams that had some embarrassing losses this year. They have very expensive quarterbacks who win a lot of games and have been successful, but you wonder if they're really worth what they're getting paid. They have great defensive coordinators. The Niners have a really good offensive coordinator. The Eagles have really good O-line and D-line. But those teams kind of seem similar to me. Hurts and Purdy, kind of similar conversations, different styles of quarterback, but they're controversial. They're good, but are they great?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Who do you think's a better team right now, Philly or the Niners?
That's a tough one. I feel like Philly's falling apart and their offensive coordinator is going to get fired in a few weeks. But at the same time, they're so tough in the trenches. They could just push the Niners around. Hurts could have an hour and a half to throw. The Niners have no pass rush and they have a good offensive line. That's a really tough one. I could see the Niners pulling off a win, but I don't think they'd be favored. I probably lean Philly, although I don't think they're that much better than the Niners.
Yeah. It's still so much to learn, and we're way deep in the season.
Yeah. I mean, who's better right now, Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley? Barkley? Maybe.
Is Barkley falling off as a runner?
I mean, McCaffrey's averaging 3.6 this season. Barkley's averaging 3.9. They both kind of old. They both did way too much last season. They seem a little compromised.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
And plus, Barkley isn't the pass catcher that McCaffrey is.
No, definitely not. All right. So let's talk about what Kyle Shanahan said in the conference call today. He gave us about 15 minutes of his time. I asked him about Phillip Rivers, and here I'll play the exchange. I asked two questions.
Kyle, do you admire what Phillip Rivers is doing at his age, and have you had a chance to watch his performance against Seattle?
I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I actually got to talk to him a little bit last week, and I mean, I admire the hell out of it. I mean, it's I think he's capable of it. What he did last night, he gave that team a chance to win. So we all know everyone's seen that he's capable of it. But the way he plays and the style he plays with, I respect him as much as any quarterback I've ever studied. Just growing up in this over the last 20 years or whatever. And to me, what I admire the most is someone at that age to be able to come in there and want to play the right way, which is hanging in that pocket and taking some of those hits. That's something that gets very old fast to a lot of people. And for him to still have that toughness and that competitiveness and he's not going to get into anything unless he's all about it and 100% in. And that's why he made the decision. And that's why I think he's giving them a good chance to win and helping their team.
Why did you talk to him last week, and how did that come about?
Just because he was talking with Gus, because he's got a good relationship with Gus Bradley, being together there with the Chargers. And then Gus just came down to my room and got to talk to him for a little bit. I was telling him how cool it would be. And then at about 10 seconds into it, I realized that we were playing against him in 10 days. So I tried to kind of sway away from that and tell him how dumb it would be, but it didn't work.
I mean, that's pretty cool. It sounds like he really, really respects. I mean, obviously said it, but he's almost a little nervous about having to face Phillip Rivers because he's a real quarterback.
Yeah, Iggy. I believe that answer, the two-part answer that Kyle gave you, is the best answer he's ever given as a head coach of the 49ers.
I agree.
I think
it had everything. It had humor. It actually revealed something we didn't know.
Yeah, he had passion.
Yeah.
And what it told us is he's a football guy, Kyle.
Yeah.
He admires great football players.
Mm-hmm.
He admires them, even if they're playing against them.
Mm-hmm.
It's what you want. It's when I watch boxing videos and Teddy Atlas is talking about fighters. He admires great fighters. He's in love with what they do. And Kyle's a football guy, and I respect that about him. He was able to praise a guy he's going to face in the next game. Not praise, love, lavish praise. That was the best possible. I'm more interested in how Kyle revealed himself than in what he had to say about Rivers.
Yeah, he had. It was really cool the way he looked at Rivers. I mean, Rivers is like his peer. Rivers is 44. Kyle's 46. They've both been in the league together a long time. And to see someone Kyle's age come back and play the sport, I bet Kyle kind of wishes he could do that, like living
Yes.
vicariously through Philip.
Longing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool to hear him talk about the style of quarterback he likes. Like, he really admires a guy who stands in one spot and is willing to take the hits.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, a stand-up guy. You admire that.
Yep. And Philip Rivers has always been that kind of guy.
Roethlisberger was that kind of guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Brady, Manning. Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna get knocked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is that kind of guy, but that's neither here nor there.
I have something else to say about Rivers. First of all, when they play next Monday night, except locally here, the story of that game is Rivers, not the 49ers, right? Because what he's doing is so unusual, and you're rooting for him. I don't mean, you know what? I'm rooting for him too. I'm not rooting that the Colts win. I'm not saying that. No. I'm rooting for him to do well. What the hell? Yeah, and I have something else to say. You are a presenter on YouTube and SI.com, and I'm sort of still a writer. And what we do in our lives is we get paid to express ourselves. Athletes, and I'm going to use Philip Rivers as an example, playing quarterback is how he expresses himself. Mm-hmm. It's in the deepest core of his body, I believe. It's who he thinks he is, a quarterback. Now, he coaches, he has a lot of kids and grandkids. There are a lot of facets to him, but he also expresses himself, and I think in his core feels that he's a quarterback. And this is a chance for his dream to come true again. I'm in favor of second dreams coming to pass.
I love that, Dad. That was poetic. I also want to talk about, like, why is this possible? Why can a 44-year-old quarterback who hasn't played in 5 years and is clearly like 20 pounds overweight the best option available when a lot of these super athletic kids coming straight out of college who have just had a lot of success fail? And I think it's something about how quarterbacks are developed today and 20 years ago. Like, today, it seems like the coaches, the play callers are so controlling that they try to do all the thinking for the quarterback. Like, hey, man, I'll be talking to you in the headset until there's 15 seconds left. We'll do a bunch of shifts and motions. I will let you know where the first read is. And he's going to be open 75% of the time. And if he's not, then scramble around. I don't think quarterbacks were developed like that 20, 25 years ago when Philip Rivers was coming out of college. I think back then they really taught quarterbacks how to read defenses. And I think you can see a guy like Rivers, Brady, Joe Flacco can continue to have this success in the league, even though they can't move at all, because they actually know what they're looking at and can get the ball out of their hands quickly and efficiently. I mean, how many young quarterbacks drop back and be like, they don't know what they're looking at?
Iggy, I totally agree with that. And I think the three older players you mentioned, if they didn't have someone in their ear calling the plays, they wouldn't need it. They could call their own plays. Plunkett called his own plays with the Raiders. He won 2 Super Bowls.
Peyton Manning called his own plays.
They can call their own. Yeah. Mm-hmm. These guys, these young guys, they can't call their. We've seen the Niners play a lot of this Shador and this Bryce and this guy yesterday. They don't call their own plays. They're implements of the coordinator.
Even Brock, you almost never see Brock Purdy do hurry-up offense because it's all Kyle Shanahan calling the 2 plays and walking up to the line of scrimmage and doing the 3 motions and then deciding which of the 2 plays they want to go with. It's like, okay, that's great, but Philip Rivers doesn't need to do that.
No, he could call his own game. And what you're saying is they don't make them that way anymore because head coaches / coordinators are that intrusive.
Yeah, it's all a play caller's game now, where I think 25, 30, 35 years ago it was a quarterback's game. And I don't know why coaches decided to change. Maybe they felt like if I'm going to get fired, I'm going to take control as much as possible. And I think Kyle's that way. I think he's telling Brock and Mac and Jimmy where to go with the ball. That's why Jimmy would get upset after interceptions. Like, dude, you told me to go there. You said it would be open. I don't think Philip Rivers does that with his play caller. Like, hey, bro, I trusted you. Like, he's fully invested. He's the guy.
I've told this story before, but it's relevant again now. Keith Fonhorst, the left tackle on great 49er teams, he used to talk to me, and he told me sometimes Joe Montana would come in to the huddle because Bill would have just called a play, and Joe didn't like the play. And before he even named the play, he'd say, "You're not going to believe this shit." He would say that into the huddle, Iggy, and everybody would get a giggle out of it. And years later, I told Bill that, and Bill just got such a laugh out of it. And he said Joe was probably right.
I love that. I think the thinking 25, 30 years ago was like, look, this is the most important player on the field. He's an extension of the coach. We want him to have the as much control over the offense as possible. The ability to change routes, to change plays, to call plays, to go hurry up. It's your offense. And I think what Kyle and McVay and this new breed of play caller have decided is like, it's not your offense. It's our offense. And instead of putting a bunch of stuff on your plate to figure out mentally that like Philip Rivers can do, instead of treating you like you're Philip Rivers or Drew Brees, we're going to do the thinking for you. You just execute. You just work on your footwork and you just drop back and you throw, you rip it, and we'll let you know where to go with the ball. I think that's kind of what the league has become.
And I think Purdy is an example of that.
Why do all the 49ers quarterbacks put up the same numbers? Because it's Kyle doing all the thinking. They're just kind of like puppets of Kyle.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, they all put up the same numbers. Have anyone noticed that? Anyway, Bill Kennedy says, is it fewer, not less? I think, LOL, Papa Cohn. Depends on the time and the place.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah, fewer is always things you can count. R. Kessler 96 says, love this show every week. Who wins, Seahawks versus Rams? I think the Seahawks win that game because the Rams won the other one.
I think the Rams win that game.
Okay. J.M. Garza, member for 48 months. Thank you very much, J.M. Garza. Bill Kennedy says Papa Cohn was gambling as prevalent in the media. When?
When I was doing it, I would take out the as. Was it prevalent in the media? I would say no. First of all, let's say you were a baseball writer and you were betting on baseball, I think that might have been a firing offense. I never was anywhere where people were betting. This is all new to me.
J-Mad says, Grant, just saw my 2025 YouTube recap, and I'm in the top 0.1% of viewers of your channel. 495 videos watched. You, Larry, and Jesse, my 3. That's impressive. Thank you very much for watching me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. SGA Sports Talk, member for 7 months. Thank you, Shardal. Sheridan Milestone says, Aiyuk looks lost. The Niners defense have to catch interceptions. Those drops will hurt in the playoffs. Also, catch point defense is so bad on this team. Yeah, they only have 5 picks all year. They had 2 opportunities yesterday. They dropped both of them. Both were right there. So that's something they got to do better. Bill Kennedy says, if Purdy leads the Niners to a Super Bowl win, he deserves the money. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Gonzalez, new member. Thank you, Gonzalez. Silent says, Ricky needs to link up with Curry's trainer. Curry figured it all out. Matt McEwen says, Niners have a defense that's going to get toasted by any playoff team, and Purdy only plays good with the lead first-round exit. Could be.
Hold on. He meant Stephen Curry? That he needs Stephen Curry's football.
Because Curry kept messing up his ankle.
I understand, but you can't compare football to basketball. Basketball is ballet, and football is this other thing.
It's a car crash. NVIX Media says Jimmy G would stand in the pocket and get hit.
He would. Hell yes, he would. Hell yeah.
He would. Okay, Dad. Let's look forward to this game against the Colts Monday night in Indianapolis. Let's look at it from both ways. First, the Niners winning. Why can the 49ers win this game?
Okay. First of all, they can win because they're playing against a heroic, old, fat quarterback.
Yeah.
And he may not really present much of a credible threat to the 49ers. And if the 49ers ever get near him, they might hurt him. So that's a big reason I think they can win, because Rivers, I believe, is vulnerable and is not as good as he was when he used to really play. I think they can probably score enough points against the Colts, because I don't think the Colts will score a lot of points. And I think Salah will be able to control the Colts offense. Plus, the Colts, who started the season really, really well, are on a downward spiral, and that's hard to change. So
they've lost
all
4
those
in a row.
things. Yeah, all
5
those things.
6. Yeah, I mean, the Niners have a really good offense. They have a really good quarterback. They're relatively, I mean, even if Ricky Pearsall doesn't play in this game, you wonder if Phillip Rivers can complete enough short passes to keep up with the Niners. I mean, Brock Purdy doesn't really even have to throw the ball down the field to get big plays. George Kittle is so good. And I mean, if you watch Phillip Rivers in that game, he looked like the same Phillip Rivers from 5 years ago when he was over the hill, and he threw a lot of very short passes, I think, and throwaways. I think that's basically what he's gonna do against the Niners.
Yeah. So not impressive. So by the way, I think, if you be honest, the Niners can win the game, but I think the Colts can win the game too. I'm favoring the Niners. I'm picking the Niners, but I don't think the Colts are out of it. So if you would agree with that, let's give a winning scenario for the Colts.
Yeah. Well, they have Jonathan Taylor, who leads the league in rushing attempts, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, rushing first downs, longest rush of the season, yards per game, and he's averaging 5.3 yards per carry. He's great. 16 touchdowns. He's the best. He might be the best running back in football. He's not the receiver that Christian McCaffrey is, but he's way better at running the ball than Christian McCaffrey is at this point in his career. That's one.
Okay. So let me follow up. Second question is always the most important. Can he run the ball against the Niners?
Yes. I mean, the Titans ran the ball against the Niners. They average like 7 yards a carry.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. So a potential winning scenario for Indianapolis is you don't rely on Phillip Rivers very much. He's an adjunct. You run this guy
all about
because
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be nuts not to. And the thing with the Niners, when they go up against a good running back, Iggy, he gets to the linebacker level very fast.
Yep. Ever since they lost that rookie Mykel Williams, who wasn't really a pass rusher, their run defense hasn't been really good at all. And like you said, it's safeties and linebackers trying to make the play because defensive linemen are constantly getting pushed out.
Yeah. And my guess is the Colts offensive line is probably pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
And they have a really good tight end that they drafted in the first round this year. They have some pretty good wide receivers. Like, there's a reason they started out so well. Daniel Jones was looking like an MVP candidate in this team, and he's not that good. It's just a really good team.
Yeah. So I think they can run on the Niners, and that Phillip Rivers can complement that with short passes and the occasional middle range pass. I don't think he's throwing long, Iggy. I don't think that's going to happen. And he can complement them by not losing the ball, by not fumbling, by not throwing picks. And he only threw one pick yesterday, but it was desperation at the end. So
that's what he always does.
Yeah. So that's one way they can win. Now, can their defense pose a problem for the 49ers offense?
Yeah, absolutely. They happen to have this one defensive tackle. He's really good. You may have heard of him, Dad. His name is DeForest Buckner. Hell of a player. He's still really good. He's like exactly the player he was when the Niners traded him away. I don't know what they thought they were doing on that one. They still been good without him, and the Colts haven't been great, but he's going to be going up against whoever the Niners left guard is. Spencer Burford hurt his ankle. He's been filling in for Ben Bartch, who's out for the year. If it's not Burford, it's that rookie Connor Colby, who's just awful. So the DeForest Buckner factor could be big.
So, Iggy, as opposed to Tennessee or Cleveland, they're an opponent.
Yeah. But still, I mean, the Niners are 5.5 point favorites on the road. And this is a team that's lost 5 of 6. And even with Phillip Rivers doing something we all hope he can do, they're probably going to miss the playoffs. So it's a much bigger test than what they did the last few weeks, but it gets tougher after this. Still, it's on the road. It's an AFC team. They're not that familiar with the Colts. It'll be a tough game.
Is it a 10 a.m. game, Iggy? I haven't checked.
No, it's a Monday night game.
What am I talking about?
So that helps.
Yeah.
So they get an extra day to prepare,
night.
and it's not like going to mess with their body clock or anything. That'll help.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm picking the Niners. Who are you picking?
I'm picking the Niners. They seem like they're really doing very well. And if they're going to have a letdown, it's not going to be in mid-December against a 44-year-old quarterback. I think they're too good for that.
I agree. So if they win, they're then 11-4, right?
If they win, they're 11-4. That would be with the Bears coming up. The Bears look pretty good, but that's another team that's not necessarily better than the Niners.
Yeah, that's a game. I mean, after that, they only have 3 games left. But let's leave the Bears in Seattle. We'll have a lot to say about them down the line. Concentrating on this game. The thing about Tennessee, I was so uninterested in the game, Iggy. You're in the press box. I'm at home. After it was clear that the Niners were going to win, I switched over. I wanted to watch Phillip Rivers. So I switched channels and watched that. And then I missed this mini comeback by Tennessee, which didn't make the Niners look that good. But I saw Rivers because I was preparing. I was doing homework. And Iggy, I have to say, I really didn't find him very impressive at all.
No. But here's the thing. So like he's going to have time to throw. The Niners don't have much of a pass rush. And he's not going to be trying to throw the ball deep down the field to wide receivers, I doubt. He's going to be throwing underneath a lot to tight ends and running backs. He has a really good tight end, and the Niners haven't really done a good job covering tight ends all year. Their defensive backs are pretty good, but their linebackers aren't. And you saw this past week, yesterday, there was that touchdown catch up the sideline to Gunnar Helm. Remember, it was like 1st and 20 from the Niners 34, and all of a sudden he's wide open down the sideline. Well, the linebacker D Winters, it was zone coverage. He got lost. And then the game before that in Cleveland, if you remember, before halftime, same kind of a play. Shador Sanders hits that rookie tight end, Harold Fannin, up the left sideline. He's wide open. Once again, the linebacker in zone coverage got lost and forgot his assignment. So, and again, a few weeks before against the Rams, I think 3 or 4 tight ends caught touchdowns. So if you're clever, that's the way you can go after the Niners. And I think that's something that Phillip Rivers can do. He doesn't need to throw the ball 40 yards down the field to win this game.
And Iggy, he's been a very accurate passer, right?
Yes, he has been a very accurate passer. Yes. And again, like, is he that much worse than Daniel Jones? We all thought Daniel Jones was awful last year. Then he goes to this team. He's like, oh, he's winning. I don't know if Phillip Rivers will win any games, but he almost beat the Seahawks, who I think are an elite team.
Yeah, the Seahawks had to kick a field goal to beat him.
So hold on. How many points did they score? They scored 16 points and lost to the Seahawks. You know how many points the Niners scored against the Seahawks when they beat them this year? 17. So who knows? This could be a really close game. That would be kind of cool.
You know, I'm in favor of watching games as opposed to whatever that thing was yesterday, an exercise in humiliation. I like games. I like drama. I like suspense. I do.
That was an exercise in humiliation, and it You said it after the game. It felt like the Niners playing against a team that should be relegated.
Yeah. Yeah.
You shouldn't be. You guys aren't even in the same league.
Iggy, they've played two teams that should be relegated, Cleveland and Tennessee.
Yep. Arizona's in that class too.
Absolutely. And I never expected that to happen. So, look, they get credit for wins. These were the teams that they were presented with. They couldn't say, oh, they're not good enough. We want to play Green Bay. They beat the teams they were presented with. But three of them were pretty easy. And that's why we're still not clear on the Niners. Because you say, oh, they beat Tennessee, although Tennessee did have life at the end. They beat Tennessee. What does that add up to? And Iggy, I don't know what it means. I'm not saying what it adds up to or doesn't add up to. I don't know.
The one non-relegation team the Niners faced in the last month was Carolina, and the Niners beat them by 11. But it was also kind of a shaky performance, as we all remember. So it'll be interesting to see what I feel like. Indianapolis is better than Carolina, so this will be a good test for the Niners. They should win, but they could absolutely lose.
Don't you wish they were playing tonight?
Hold on. Where you go? I do wish they were playing tonight, but that's what we got Prize Picks for a little action.
I love Prize Picks.
Don't we all? So we
I
got
do.
Aaron Rodgers. I do love Prize Picks. Aaron Rodgers, 214.5. And we're going to go more or fewer. I'm going to talk to Prize Picks about their grammar.
Okay. I'm going to say fewer.
Yeah.
Iggy, could I just say a personal thing?
Yeah.
I can't stand him.
Yeah.
He looks like he walks through life sucking on a lemon. He is such a sourpuss. That has nothing to do with his quarterback ability. But Iggy, I think his time has passed.
I think it has as well. It's funny. We're over here talking about Phillip Rivers and how cool it is that he's giving it a shot at 44 and we're rooting for him. Aaron Rodgers can go away.
Yeah, go away. Go away. Take that personality and go somewhere else.
Take that sour pickle face and go somewhere to a 195.5, more or fewer.
Oh, more.
That's a low number. Okay. Rushing yards. How about receiving yards? DK Metcalf, 58.5, more or fewer.
More.
It's got to be more. Otherwise, what else are they doing over there? Okay, no one else in this game interests me, but that we got some for Monday Night Football. Let's see if the Niners are here yet. Yeah. Oh, we got Niners. Okay, let's get some Niners in here. They put Phillip Rivers as Joe Biden. Okay, so Joe Biden 147.5 passing yards, more or fewer.
I love it. They put Joe Biden.
Yeah,
that's clever. 147.5.
He went for 120 against Seattle.
I'm going to say fewer.
You're a hater.
I don't want to be a hater.
You're an ageist.
I want people to think I'm a nice person.
Brock Purdy, 243.5 passing yards, more or fewer. 243.
No, Iggy, that's a lot. No. Fewer.
No. Okay, one more, and I want it to be their running back, Jonathan Taylor, 77.5 rushing yards. What do you think? More or fewer?
More.
He went for 244 a month ago. Okay, those are our picks. 3 for tonight, 3 for the Niners for next Monday night. So this is a Monday night only Prize Pick edition. We're going to flex. We're going to submit. Download Prize Picks. Use promo code Cohn, COHN. Play $5. Get 50 instantly in lineups when you use my promo code. Let's see if we got some more super chats to address. Bill Kennedy says, love old stories. Old vids should be members only. We were thinking about in the off season maybe doing some streams where we watch old fights and score them. I don't know if that's kosher on YouTube, but it might be fun to do in like a February kind of thing. Something to think about. Richard Evangelista says the game is a lot faster. Tech is more advanced. QBs can't see the field or call plays from the ground or read defenses like they did in the old days. Then he says 5 years out, 20 pounds overweight, calling plays from the huddle wouldn't be ideal. Great comeback headline. It'll be interesting to watch. Daza says, was really good to see Purdy having a great game, but bear in mind Shador had 364 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Titans the week before. Let's first see Brock put up good performances in the next 3 games.
I love it. I totally am with that comment.
That's absolutely fair-minded. Richard says, Rodgers could take that prima donna attitude to the UFL or arena football, take BA with him. What's going to happen to Aaron Rodgers when he retires and no one wants to hear him say that stupid shit anymore?
I'll never have to think about him again.
It'll be nice.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll never think about him again. I'll look out the window at the squirrels and the birdies, and I'll have a good time. I won't have to think about him.
You'll fold socks and do laundry.
Oh, yeah, fold socks.
Run errands. Do the things you need to do.
Clean out the filter in the vacuum cleaner.
All day, every day. Kim says, Papa Cohn, have you ever had a chopped cheese sandwich? If not, you have to go to Blue Sky Deli in East Harlem, the original gentleman named Haji. I was there a month ago. I went to that place a month ago and did a video about it. I don't think you've been, though.
I actually have only been to Harlem a few times in my life.
You wrote about it was it Gloves Off or American Jew?
Oh, Brooklyn Jew. Not American Jew. Hey,
Sorry.
You know what I want you to do? Speaking of Brooklyn Jew,
yeah.
You know how you put a lead into my Twitter, and it's Kuiper talking about Gloves Off. Well, that's old news. Could we get rid of that? And could you put something up? Lowell's latest book is Brooklyn Jew. Substitute went out for the other on Twitter.
Where you can purchase it.
Would you do that for me?
I think I would. It'll cost you a nickel, though.
I'll pay you a nickel.
Put you on retainer. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Prize Picks. Thanks, 1-800-CONTACTS. Thanks, Fabletics. Thank you, Dad. I love you, the greatest.
I love you. You know, I think this was our greatest show ever.
A lot of people are saying this is the best show in Cohn's Zone history.
Hey, have a nice week, everybody.
Have a nice week.
Thanks for watching.
Take care.